Hi everyone, it's Saturday, July 13th, and I'm up for one more day of fishing. And I thought I'd take a break and give you the fishing report, July 7th through the 13th. It was a big trip for me this week. I headed up to Cloquet and found myself on Caribou Lake on July 8th. Caribou Lake had good ratings from the DNR for bass, and it looked like it had a little bit of everything in it. In fact, the last time I was in Cloquet, I stopped by to check out the landing and see what the lake looked like, and I talked to one of the county invasive species workers, and he kind of gave me the scoop about the lake. So I thought I'd give it a try. I'm glad I did. It wasn't a fast and furious night. I had to kind of work to find some fish, but I did. Right when I got there, there's fields and fields of these small lily pads, and I thought, man, that's going to be just perfect for bass, but I just could not get one to bite. So, like I've said in some other videos, I went to my panfish gear to kind of get some fish in the boat. And I did. I got a few panfish in. I got a couple of sunnies and some crappies, mostly small, but one crappie that was probably keeper size. So the lake, Caribou Lake in Cloquet, Minnesota, has some potential for some keeper crappies. Fish on. There we go. What do we got? Hey, it's a nice crappie. Oh, the 10-incher. Hey, multi-species. I like to throw a frog for a bass, and I noticed when I was panfish fishing a reef that was kind of set up perfect with the wind. So what I did was I went over there, and as I was going over there, there was a local who came out in his boat, and he was fishing the other side of it, and he was fly fishing. So for a local to be out on a weeknight in the same area, I was thinking I was onto something, because I'm guessing he knew the lake pretty well. What an easy one. There we go. Caribou Lake bass. It's a little 3-pounder. get him. I think he's still there. Man, he hammered it. These bass fight. There we go. All right, the sun's setting on my first day for my Cloquet Grand Rapids Mille Lacs trip. A little bit of action tonight. I'm on Caribou Lake, close to Duluth/Cloquet area. The average size bass that I've caught has been pretty nice. If I get something coming in, you can be sure it'll be on video. So the next day, I was kind of battling with the wind. It was kind of a windy trip, especially the Cloquet portion. So I got a tip from my old baseball coach. He reminded me that when we went to our tournament in Cloquet for Legion Baseball, there was a lake that we camped on. So I went out to Big Lake. Fish on. There we go. Fish on. There we go. Another nice sunny. There's a little northern. Let's see if we can get out of it without losing our jig. Wow. Do a somersault. Well, Big Lake ended up being pretty windy, but I did manage to get some crappies and sunnies and one frog wrecker / northern in the boat. So nice to get out on the water even on a windy day. My big day was Wednesday, July 10th. And that was the day that I was transitioning from Cloquet to Mille Lacs. But I took a little side trip. I left at 3:15 a.m. to get on the water right at sunup on my favorite bass lake in the Grand Rapids area. Once again, it was a bit of a different day. I kind of felt like it was a day that maybe wasn't as good as some days on the lake, but when I got back and I looked at all the footage I had, it was a pretty darn good day for catching some frog bass. I'll include maybe 1 or 2 highlights in this video, but the day itself will get its own video and that'll be out soon. There we go. Nice fish. That's the start. Hey, he's a chunky guy. And back he goes. So after Grand Rapids, I headed to the Mille Lacs area, and I did try the Garrison area for some smallmouth, and I even fished the reeds for some largemouth, and I was shut out. It was a pretty slow night. Talked to my DNR friend out there, and she said all around the lake it was pretty slow. I'm sure there's some of you that are fishing out there that catch fish every time out, and that's great. One kind of super thing that happened was I met somebody else who watches the FisherMN channel and the videos, and I really appreciate that they came up and talked to me for a while. It's always great to meet a fan. When I say I hope to see you on the water, I really do mean it. So if I ever see you, come on up and talk. I'll tell you what I know about the fishing in that area. Thursday, July 11th, was a really interesting day in the Mille Lacs area. There's a lake that's kind of northwest of Mille Lacs, Borden Lake, and I've fished it quite a bit before and targeted some frog bass there. In the past few years, the frog bass have been a little bit slow for me on that lake, but there's also big northerns, so I thought I'd target those. Last week I was at Rush Lake, and some of you might have seen my video, got into some pretty nice northerns, so that kind of got that let's troll from northerns feeling going. And Borden didn't disappoint. I caught a couple of decent northerns and one pretty big one. Stay tuned at the end of this video after I show you some Borden highlights, and I will show you a Borden Lake secret and something pretty cool that happened that day. Fish on. What have we got? We got a northern. All right. I've said it before, sometimes you treat northerns like panfish. You just keep going. Looks like something grabbed this guy, maybe that follow I had earlier. But you keep going until you get a big one. 7:42, how time flies. Wow, it's like a blink of an eye. There we go, fish on. Alright, and northern. Call them a northern when you catch them on a spinner. They try to steal your frog, call them a frog wrecker. There we go. Another northern. Came off right in the net. Man, they are beat up here. Looks like something's been chewing on him. There we go. Fish on. I hope he's just slow motioning it. Kind of rolling in like a small one. Oh, there we go. What we got? That's a decent one. All right. Yeah, very good one. a net roller. All right, you've been through enough, big guy. Whew. All right. And that's what happens to your hook. My goodness. Totally bent the wrong way. Well, Friday came, July 12th, and I decided to get up early once again. And so I was out on my favorite Mille Lacs area largemouth lake. And I'll tell you, it was rough. Not too many fish. One frog bass, a couple of hits. Nothing seemed like it was in close. There we go. Little guy. Let's get on the board. Just kind of sucked it in. First one, July 12th, frog bass. All right, let's get a big one. You might like Skittles or M&Ms. This is what northern's like. We're gonna troll up some northerns. There we go. Had to get one trolling. Staying down pretty good. Alright, a little better. Not a little guy. There we go. That brings us to tonight. I'm on the beautiful Rum River up by St. Francis, Minnesota. It's been a bit slow so far. I've caught one northern on a lure that I actually found on a tree. So maybe they only hit on lures that you find and not lures that you bring. Looks like. Must be free lure Saturday. Let's see if we can get over there. Sure enough, it's a Rapala. Get it back in there. That'll work. Oop, stuck on the tree. Something over there. Most people have a throwback lure ready. I find mine in the trees. Alright, so we just found this lure in the tree. Let's put it to work. Had a spot where I had two topwater, just kind of half-hearted attempts. Now let's see if we can get something on this Rapala minnow. Or if we maybe just lose the lure. Ooh, nice action. There it is. Looks like a northern, so let's hope. Let's hope we don't lose our free lure. He's got it right on the edge, that's good. All right. Whoa, that was a muskie. Nice. When you just saw a muskie, that scares the bejeebers out of you. Alright, good bass. Borden Lake bass. That was fun. Still all excited from that muskie follow. And then to have that happen right by the boat. Woo! Another busy week of fishing, and that's awesome. I'm so glad I can bring you some videos, and I'm glad you're watching them. Thanks so much. And next week, I hope they're biting for you, and I hope to see you on the water. Thanks so much for watching.